Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, December 24th. Okay, so the moon is still in Libra energy. However, it is going to go void, of course, at 5:45 a.m., again, Eastern Standard Time. Here's the thing. We're not locking into Scorpio energy until 3:08 a.m. on the 25th. That is a huge chunk of time to have the moon be in a void, because when the moon is in a void, things are shaky, things are unstable, things are uncertain, especially in our emotional realm. Considering the fact that the moon in Libra is coming out of this last quarter moon that popped off in Libra energy on the 22nd, and considering the fact that, again, we're still in these 3 days of darkness as we entered into the solstice period, and we're waiting for the sun to be reborn, which he will be early on the 25th. And I'm talking about the sun in the sky. Again, going to be on the move, rising in its path, in its trajectory, in its journey, taking us into the new year. Now, if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you would know that I've been saying to kind of keep it quiet this holiday season, to kind of keep it small, keep it quiet. Be very aware of the energies. There's a lot of very difficult energies coming at us for very good reasons, because of course that matrix programming wants to keep us in a low vibration, low frequency, low state of being. We have to do everything that we can to keep those vibrations high to overwrite this particular programming. A lot of the reason why I'm talking about this is because we have a major aspect taking place here today. There are 9 different aspects. 8 of them are involving the moon. That one aspect that doesn't involve the moon is an outer planet square. This is between Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, blessings, who currently is retrograde in Gemini energy, getting into the boxing ring, squaring off with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who of course is in Pisces energy, trying to wrap up this 30-year cycle. So this square actually takes us back to 2021, when we had Jupiter and Saturn traveling together in Aquarius energy. That's when they had that conjunction, kind of played off of the conjunction, the major conjunction that we had in Capricorn energy in 2020, thus the Great Awakening. However, there's usually 3 different aspects, 3 different interactions with this particular square, and we are going to be having our second one here today. The first one that we had was back in August, the 19th, to be super specific. And the third and final one that we will have of this particular series, that's going to kind of last for the next couple of years until we get to that Jupiter and Saturn opposition point, that next one's going to be June 15th. But the interesting part about it is that Jupiter is going to be in Cancer energy and Saturn is going to be in Aries energy. Again, please stick with me as I, kind of get my thoughts together about the year that we're about to move into. There's going to be an overview. And of course, if you want to do a deep dive, I have a whole 2025 special, little bit of a course, little bit of a workshop going on January 1st over on my Patreon. So if you're interested, please jump over there. Okay, so what I'm getting at is there's some tough energies coming at us over these next couple of days, definitely putting a little bit of a funky town type of vibe over this holiday season. So again, holidays are always crazy and chaotic because again, we are under the influence of the ancient celebration of Saturnalia, which was a very twisted type of celebration for not so nice things. However, we want to keep the vibe right. We want to celebrate in whichever way we feel called to celebrate, because at the end of the day, this is a renewal. It is a rebirth of ourselves, of our energy, of this next karmic chapter, because of course, there is this rebirth, this resurrection, this renewal of the sun. So with all of that being said, we are going to jump into the day with the moon in this Libra energy, making a very positive interaction, thankfully, with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. Now, Uranus's time retrograde in this Taurus energy is supposed to be highlighting for us where it is that we're overly attached to the old structures, the old routines, the old people, places, and things that, of course, we have no resonance with at all because this new version of self has kind of evolved past that. But of course, we're still holding on. We have these connections, we have these attachments, and we definitely need to kind of reframe our mind and our heart space in order to release this hold. So the moon and Uranus working together definitely going to bring a lot of insight, a lot of clarity to maybe why we feel the need to hold on to these old people, places, and things, maybe what we could do within ourselves to restructure our mental plane, our emotions, to feel a little bit better about creating time, energy, distance, and space away from these particular aspects. And overall, we're kind of being downloaded with a little bit of clarity on where it is that we want to go from here, and where it is that we would like to end up definitely isn't going to happen if we continue to hold on to the old. So this is going to be a positive shift in our mood, in our attitude. We're reframing, restructuring a couple of things, and we're definitely going to feel high vibe because of it. But of course, just when we feel high vibe, there's got to be a dark force energy that tries to ruin it. We are going to have the moon in Libra energy directly oppose and sit across from Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde in Aries energy. So, of course, anytime that we're aspecting Mr. Chiron in not a nice way, we're going to be focused more on the wounds than we are on the healing. We're on the past than we are on the future. And at this particular juncture, the moon in Libra energy, again, trying to find peace, harmony, contentment, acceptance, balance within ourselves, within our personal relationships. There's some sort of dysfunction, some sort of discontentment, some sort of wound that we would rather pick the scab off and reopen and sit in and victimize ourselves and poor woe is me. And of course, in the holiday season, there is a lot to complain about, a lot to whine about, and that's why having the attitude of gratitude is super freaking important. Now, lucky for us, the moon in this Libra energy is going to trine, which is a beautiful interaction, with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, who rules over this Libra energy that the moon is currently in. She is currently in Aquarius energy. She's thinking about her future. She's thinking about how to break free from a lot of these constructs, a lot of these relationship dynamics, connections, and attachments that, of course, she does not want to continue. She is projecting herself so far into the future to get a grip, a grasp on what it is that she could possibly build and create for herself in order for us to come back into this present moment, figure out what we have power and control over, to change, to improve, to adjust in this present moment, to help clear the path, free the path up for us to actually be in alignment with the possibility of manifesting, again, this futuristic realm, this futuristic reality. The trine comes from the Libra energy being an air sign, the Aquarius energy being an air sign, which means that there's a lot going on in our headspace. Now, that Libra energy, again, wants to think positive, wants to think rainbows and butterflies. The Aquarius energy thinking very futuristically. We are starting to kind of want to stay in the shallow end of our thoughts and of our emotions. But this is definitely going to put us into a different perspective of what it is that we want, need, and desire in this present moment that we're currently lacking, that we have power and control over, to make adjustments, to make improvements in this present moment so that we can fulfill some of those wants, needs, and desires in a futuristic situation and circumstance. Now, this is the last aspect that the moon in Libra will be making before going void, of course. And the void starts at 5:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the moon in this Libra energy, but now void, making a very positive interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who, of course, is in this Pisces energy, trying to wrap up a lot of karmic cycles, trying to dissolve the old boundaries, systems, structures, foundations, old belief systems in order to free us up to move on and move forward. Now, Mr. Saturn usually brings a little bit of a reality check. Lucky for us, this is a positive interaction, so it's not going to be a great weight, a great bitch slap of truth, of reality, if you will. And instead, what it's going to help us do is get a little bit organized in our thoughts, organized in our feelings, and eventually organized in our actions. We're trying to figure out, again, in the elimination process, because we are in this last phase of this lunar cycle, we have to eliminate, we have to release, we have to remove things in order to lighten the load for us to clear the space, clean the slate, for us to start building towards something new. The moon is going to make a positive interaction with the sun, of course, in Capricorn energy. Anytime that the sun and the moon are coming together, there is going to be an aha moment, a new level of awareness, on what we want, what we need, what we have to do, what we have to pursue, what we have to release, what we have to remove, what we have to put behind us. So this is a positive interaction. The Libra energy, of course, is all about the thought. The Capricorn energy is the action that we have to put into the physical realm in order to complete said thought. So we are definitely starting to feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more calm within ourselves, and understanding, again, the steps needed in order for us to break away from where it is that we're at and start gaining momentum towards where it is that we desire to be. The moon is then going to make a very harsh interaction with Uranus. So we started the day off well. This is a pivot point where, again, we're going to be a little bit anxious. Again, we just started to realize what we have to do, what we have to pursue, what we have to remove and eliminate. The to-do list in this Capricorn season is going to get very long. And just when we realize what we want to do, what we need to do, the overwhelming pressure of what has to be done pushes us into a little bit of a tizzy. So we're feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic, a little bit pressurized. And of course, ain't nobody got time for that. Now, 4:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Jupiter getting into the boxing ring, squaring off with Saturn. So Jupiter wants us to grow and expand. Saturn wants us to kind of restrict and limit. And so, the square is going to highlight the growing pains that we're currently moving through. Again, this is not the first time that we're experiencing this. Again, we had the first aspect pop off in August. So what we're getting here is an opportunity for growth. What we're getting is an opportunity to evolve, but it is going to require a little bit of a sacrifice. And at this particular juncture, we want the rewards, we want the credit, we want to just be happy, we want an easygoing path. But right now, the restructuring in our physical realms, in our inner realm, is needed in order for us to get to that sweet spot. So here we are, Mr. Saturn. He rules over the structures of our lives. He rules over the plans, the rules, the laws, the limits, everything, all of the demands in our physical reality. While Jupiter, on the other hand, in this Gemini energy and retrograde at that, trying to shift and restructure and rewrite the script in our headspace, in our dialogue, in our narrative, in the way that we actually see ourselves and the world around us. So this is definitely going to lead us into growth, lead us to being stronger, lead us to this perseverance, this determination that we're all going to have to really kind of get our shit together, to put the past behind us for good, to kind of break away from the realm and reality that old version of self have created, but it's not happening right now. And that's where we're starting to get a little bit defeated. We're very tired. Of course, this is going to have major implications on our emotions, on our headspace, on our finances, on our commitments, on our relationship dynamics, and our goals. And our energy is up and then it's down, and then it's up again and then it's down. And our faith and our positivity and our confidence and our outlook, it's up and then it's down. It's up and then it's down. So again, we're all over the place, right? This is when we start second guessing. This is when we start questioning. Who am I? What am I even doing? Why am I doing this? What am I fighting for? What's the point of this? Again, it is this juncture point because we are in a new karmic chapter. We're still very much sitting in the dark. There's a lot of layers of funkiness right now. And we definitely are questioning whether or not we're even in the right place at the right time, doing the right things, what the F is going on. If you're feeling that, if you're feeling down in the dumps, if you're feeling a little bit funky, congratulations, you're exactly where it is that you need to be. This is going to be a time for us. And again, this isn't just a one-day event. They're within orb of each other for quite some time. And this energy influence is actually going to carry us towards the end of this year and into the next one. So what we're going to realize over the next couple of weeks is where it is that we have to breathe new life into old ideas, old projects, old plans. Instead of starting from scratch, it's better to kind of revisit where it is that we once had passion and maybe just kind of see where we lost that passion, where we lost that desire, where it is that particular idea, people, place, thing got backburnered. And then on top of that, we're going to realize that we do have this new passion, this new excitement to bring certain old parts back to life in new ways. We're evolved beings. We can do things better this time around. But it is going to require us to have some patience that we currently don't have, energy that we currently don't have, F's to give that we currently don't have. And that sounds like a lot of work, a lot of energy that we just don't have. And this is going to put us in a situation over the next couple of weeks to understand where it is that we have to make some, I'm going to say, smaller short-term sacrifices in order to get those long-term gains. If you're not feeling it right now, that's okay. You're not supposed to. The energy isn't there for you to be feeling like you're ready to tackle this particular project. Just know that this is a back burner energy. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to feel like you're not going to be able to figure it out. It's okay to feel confused. That's exactly where it is that we need to be. But this is going to give us an opportune time to get our shit together, to think about the options, the opportunities, and to adjust our expectations. And let me just remind you that when you do have expectations, you're automatically setting yourself up for disappointment. So, although this is part of the natural process that we have to go through, and it doesn't feel good and it's not fun, when I say to you that we're going to be looking back on this particular point in time, especially according to the calendar, we are going to be so grateful that we took advantage of this funkiness, that we took advantage of this pause, because it is going to lead to great things. May I also remind you that it is always darkest right before the dawn. And I mean that literally speaking at this particular juncture, because we are in the deepest, darkest parts of the calendar, and we are waiting for that new dawn to arrive early on the 25th. So that was a mouthful, I know, but it was needed to be said. We do have the moon in this void, definitely semi-squaring, creating tension and conflict with Mercury. Mercury is our head space. The moon is our heart space, and right now they're not getting along. A lot of that is because the Sag energy that Mercury is currently in and trying to gain clarity on is still very focused on the future, while the moon in Libra just wants things to be okay here in the present moment. This is going to impact our ability to communicate properly, effectively, clearly from the heart. It is also going to put us in a situation where, because of this, let's call it back burner funkiness, we're probably spitting a lot of negativity, and we really need to watch that. The Sag energy wants us to be positive and wants us to be optimistic, but that Jupiter square Saturn definitely ruining all positive thoughts at this particular juncture. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon making a very harsh interaction with Neptune. Neptune, of course, in his rulership in this Pisces energy. We are wrapping up like a, 15-year cycle, moving early into 2025 with Mr. Neptune. And the issue here is that emotionally speaking, we're confused and we're low on F's to give, and we're low on our faith, and we're low on our trust. We're low on the vision. We're low on the dream. We're just not feeling so hot. And even though we're not feeling so hot, the moon in Libra, because of the people-pleasing quality, because of wanting to keep things light and fluffy, even when things are like burning behind us, there is this disconnect where we're really not being real with ourselves, real with our feelings. We're not feeling so hot, we're not feeling so good, but we're going to great lengths in order to mask that particular energy. And of course, that is not being true to ourselves.